into Manchester United after another difficult week for Onana. Now, he has been left out of the squad for today's game at Newcastle following his two mistakes against Lyon in midweek. We understand that Ruben Amorim wants him to have a period of rest and clear his head after a tough time both on and off the pitch. Right decision, Darren?
I can't make up my mind. I mean, listen, every Man United fan who saw Thursday's game will look at him and say absolutely the right decision. All players want to play. And you would imagine the best way for him to get out of this bad run of form is to play again. Now, today's game, every game is important when you're a Manchester United footballer and when you support Manchester United, but in the context of their season, it's not going to make that much of a material difference as to their domestic campaign. But ahead of the second leg of their European tie, dropping him is a big step. Now, will he be brought back for that game? Is he resting him so that he can bring him back, or will it be longer than that? That's the big question. And all of these headlines in all of the papers today suggest that there is certainly doubt about his long-term future. Just on the right side behind Darmesh, you might be able to see there's a bit of a difference of opinion, because that headline there, the second one, just by his elbow there, drop Onana, no, give him a chance. That's Andy Dunn in the Sunday Mirror, whereas that one underneath that headline, Axe might help Onana, he's a liability for United. That's Danny Murphy in the Mail on Sunday. So there is a split of opinion in the Sunday papers, even though there is unanimity on social media from fans who've seen him play. To be fair, a lot of fans with that emotional investment in United and their results, whereas these two are quite objective opinions from the outside.
Whatever happens though, it's adding scrutiny to a position where Manchester United really don't want there to be any scrutiny, because now he's dropped for today's game. What happens on Thursday? Does he come back in? How much pressure is now on Altay Bayindis? If he has a really good game or a bad game or an indifferent game, what happens on Thursday? All eyes will suddenly be on the goalkeeping position ahead of this game.
The second thing you said is key. If Bayinde comes in and has a bad game, what then?
Exactly. Does he just come back in? I suppose the noises we're hearing is he could easily come back in for Thursday's game. So they're actually making that known almost, that, you know, Onana has been dropped, but it's for a couple of reasons, as you mentioned before, for performances on the pitch, but some issues off the pitch as well.
Look, there has been this characterisation of him as a bad keeper, right? He's played for Barcelona, he's played for Ajax, he's played for Inter Milan. He helped Inter Milan to the Champions League final. You don't do that if you're a bad keeper. I think he's having a bad season, absolutely right. I think he's lost his confidence. There have been moments where he's saved Manchester United previously. I remember games against some of the biggest teams in the Premier League where he's really been impressive, but there's no doubt about the fact that his confidence has drained away, and in the most recent games he's been poor. He would accept that.
Doesn't help with you know, a fellow pro, Nemanja Matic, coming out and basically, you know, labelling him as the worst goalkeeper. I mean, did that surprise you? I mean, it was
Yes.
like, did he break a code?
I'll be honest with you,
Matic?
and I'll tell you what I said a couple of pounds in the WhatsApp group. I thought Matic was disrespectful. I think he escalated it to a level where he didn't need to. I think Onana was talking in general terms, as a player would. We think we're better than them.
Yeah.
You know, it's very sporting and competitive, but not too disrespectful. Riyad Al Samurai in the Mail on Sunday says, hang on a minute, when Matic was at Man United, only one of his 5 seasons at the club was decent. The rest, it was a pale imitation of the greats. So let's not kid ourselves about how good he thinks he was. Now, it is the case that maybe Onana possibly shouldn't have engaged it and taken it any further, but, you know, we're all human. You know, somebody says something about one of us, you feel that instinctive urge to respond. But I just felt that Matic made it unnecessarily disrespectful, and I certainly didn't like that from a personal point of view and from a journalistic point of view as well. Listen, I always say to you on this show, we are in the information business. So I'm never going to say that players, managers, fans, anybody shouldn't speak. But I just think that Matic spoke about Onana in a way that I don't think he would speak about other players.